Hello everyone, my name is Fabio Evansyah Arifin, and today I'm going to analyze the following audio that I'm going to play for you, and also I'm going to tell you about my journey in learning listening in English.
So we're back in the studio. Welcome back, everyone. My name's Rick Walker. From our laptops to our televisions, from the displays on our smartphones to those on our sat-navs, we are in front of screens all the time. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to disconnect completely? To choose not to have access to the internet? If you have, you may be in need of a digital detox, a total switch off from all things digital. The idea of people taking a digital detox is becoming more and more popular, especially amongst young people. And today, we're joined by someone who's tried a number of digital detox activities and is here to give us some advice about it. Amanda Vince, welcome to the studio.
Thank you very much.
So, Amanda, you work for a fashion magazine in London, right? I guess your work means you need to be online a lot.
Oh yes. Apart from the hundreds of emails I get every day, I'm always browsing fashion websites as well as online videos. I also need to be very active online, especially on Twitter and Instagram, sharing what we're doing in the magazine, interacting with designers, photographers, influencers. It never stops. Literally. Then, of course, there's my friends and family to keep in touch with online too. And for me, my work grew out of my passion. So friends and work colleagues aren't two totally separate groups of people. And it all gets a bit messy online sometimes. I think I'm online for at least 12 hours a day.
So, how did you get the idea for a digital detox?
I read a book about it called Log Off: How to Stay Connected After Disconnecting. The author's name is Blake Snow. That book gave me some really good advice and made me think about trying to change some of my digital habits. I started with removing distraction.
What do you mean by that?
That means turning off alerts, buzzes, alarms or notifications of any kind. I had notifications set up for everything, and it meant I was always being forced to look at my phone. Removing all of them, except for important contacts, helped me focus immediately. The book also made a really good point that we should ask ourselves why every time we take out our phone. I realised that most of the times I looked at my phone were because I was trying to avoid or ignore something else happening right in front of me. It was an automatic habit.
I have to confess, that happens to me too. But what else are you going to do when you're standing in line in the bank or waiting for your train?
Okay, yes, I'm the first to admit that it's great for helping time go by. But speaking personally, I found I wasn't just checking my phone to kill time when I was alone. I was also doing it with friends or family around.
Right. Well, so far this doesn't sound too drastic. Turning off notifications and becoming aware of when we use our devices. That sounds easy.
Yes, it's the first step. Once we begin to realise just how much of a grip our devices have on us, then we're ready to really take the next step. First, my partner and I did a weekend with absolutely no screens. She found it easier than I did. For me, it was a little bit scary at first, but it turned out to be a pretty rewarding experience.
A whole weekend, huh? Well, I don't know if I could...
I think everyone has to do this at their own pace. If a weekend feels too much, maybe just try for an evening. Then work your way up to more. I guarantee once you've tried it, you'll want to try it again. We're going to try for a whole week in the summer.
OK, let's pause there then and see what our listeners have to say. You can call us here directly or send us a message on any of our social media channels. Oh, should I be saying that? Anyway, more after the break.
So after you listen the audio that I provide, I'm going to answer the following question about the audio. The presenter is Rick Walker. They are discussing about a topic of a digital detox. Amanda needs to be online a lot for her job because she had to deal with hundreds of emails every day. Then she needs to browse a fashion website and online videos, and also she needs to be very active on the social media. Amanda thinks that she is online for at least 12 hours a day. The book was called Log Off: How to Stay Connected After Disconnecting by Blake Snow. The first thing she changed is to removing distraction. Turning off a notification helped her focus immediately. The book suggesting asking why every time they take out their phones. They did a weekend with absolutely no screen. She plans on trying a whole week of digital detox in the summer. Amanda says that her online life is a bit messy because the line of her work life and her personal life is blurred. Amanda found it scary at first because she afraid she'll miss out the work emergency or contact. Also, she afraid that she'll lose contact from her friend and family. She afraid that she lost her familiar way of life and entertainment, and facing the underlying reasons to checking her phone. He suggests that he shares a similar habit of automatic and habitual checking on his device that suggests that he rely on his device to passing time. She recognized that disconnecting completely is a big commitment, that an extreme detox might lead to a failure. Digital detox means a total disconnect from all things digital for a period of time to reset one's habit. The first skill time means to do something to pass time. What Amanda says is when she said that the weekend was a rewarding experience is because after she experienced the disconnecting from the digital world after a period of time, she found it positive and beneficial for the research that made the effort worthwhile. For me, I absolutely cannot turn myself away from my phone screen because my phone is the source of information and I am absolutely afraid of missing something out, especially from my family and from my friend and also my campus life. The digital habit that I really wanted to change is that I want to turn myself away from my phone whenever I wanted to do something important, like doing my assignments or doing my chores at home. And also, even when I eat, I also always check my phone whenever I was about to eat. I usually check my phone to check for any message or maybe look at the time even though I don't really have to. I started learning listening in English when I was just in the elementary school. I really love to watch some movies, especially Western movies, and I really love to imitate how people talk. That's why I start learning listening in English. I don't really have any experience listening in my high school life, but outside my high school life, I have experience talking with my overseas friends that really likes to chat in the social media, like Discord or TikTok. We sometimes improving our listening or speaking skills by correcting each other. My teacher usually dictate us about the materials from the book that really we need to listen and study, and also she usually tells a story about her life in English but my friend doesn't really know any English, but I listen to her every time she tells us about her story. I didn't really enjoy studying listening English at my school because most of my friends, they didn't know how to speak English, and also my English teacher, she rarely go to my class to teach us about listening English. My biggest difficulties while learning listening English at my high school is because my friend, they didn't really speak English, and sometimes they just gibberish and just speaking nonsense that I don't really know what they're just saying. For me, listening is difficult because we live in the non-English speaker country, and most of expert or highly skilled person at speaking English is so fast when they spoke at each other that you having difficult times at understanding what they just said or the core conversation of what they talking about. I practice listening English, watching videos on YouTube, listening to rock music, especially from the Western side. I really enjoy watching videos about history and video games where the YouTuber usually spoke in English. So I try to understand what they say and the core meaning about the context. As for music itself, I do really enjoy to imitate how they sing, and then I try to understand every lyrics and the core meaning of the music. I practice listening whenever I get the chance, in my free time, or maybe when I talk to my overseas friend whenever they're lonely and wanted to chat. And then I do really love to spend my free time playing video games, English, by the way, English speaking video games. And then I really do enjoy listening hours of musics. My strategies of improving my listening skills is to just understand how people talk, and sometimes you really need to turn off some subtitles that you can read what they just said, and sometimes you really need to understand the core meaning, especially the keyword of everything that people talk about. I felt proud of my listening skills when I finally managed to understand what people said without using any subtitles whenever I watch some YouTube videos or maybe listening to music. For me, the best way to learn listening is to slowly you need to read the subtitle of every YouTube videos you watch, and then slowly and carefully you turn off every subtitles of every video you watch and try to understand what the core meaning of the video is. My favorite listening activities that I really enjoy is to listen to every word, to every conversation that people talk about. That really improves how you understand the condition, the situation of what people say, and you'll eventually know the core meaning of every context that people talk about. My listening goal for the future is that so I can get more foreign friends from the overseas and try to befriend them, talk to them, and having some normal conversation like how people do. And also I really hope that I could understand every core meaning of every conversation that I had with many English speaking people. After reflecting on this listening journey, I really need to improve how I learn how to listen to English and how do I speak in English so I can, listen and speaking more fluently. My advice for everyone that are struggling in learning listening English is that you must go as hard as you can. You must be full of commitment in learning that, and never give up, because giving up is not an answer, it's an option. The more you do, the more you work hard, it gets struggling, but that's where you know that you are working on your best. That's all I can say about this audio analytic and my listening journey. I hope you enjoy every bit of it. I'm Fabio Evansyah Arifin. I'll be taking my leave. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.